Welcome to Ecclesia Principles, a biblical strategy for believers to engage in God's design for government with Ray Eppard.
A lot of Christians are there. I mean, personally, I feel like I saw so many Christian leaders come out of the woodwork aligning with principles that I just absolutely do not agree with.
Yes.
You're talking like, pro-choice big things. And we're talking big things. And so specifically, I wanted to ask you about like what recently happened that beyond the election, because there's been big things. Virginia, you heard about the constitutional amendment that they're going to try to push in Virginia now?
Yes.
That is going to change, it's going to put up for ballot our decision to allow abortions up to the third trimester, which I believe is the ballot that just passed in Arizona, even with this red wave and stuff. So, I just happen to believe that there's going to be a lot of Christian leaders that are going to push back against my values of life. How do we combat with that?
Well, let me give you two pieces to this. Number one, my biggest concern on that issue, because in Virginia, it has to pass two sessions of legislature. It has to, two different ones have to both approve it, and then it goes on the ballot as an amendment, basically.
Right. Yeah.
My biggest concern is Christians' all or nothing mentality.
Exactly. Yeah. That kind of like abolitionist, like.
Yes. If we don't eliminate it completely, then I'm not for it.
Yeah.
And in that scenario, with the condition of our state on that issue, that approach will lose.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'm opposed to abortion. I believe, even in some of these other cases, except for the health of the mother, that adoption is a wonderful option. That's a wonderful option that could take care of things. And I've actually talked with people that were considering considering abortion. And I told them, I said, listen, I will love you either way.
Yeah.
But.
Well, they say, I think doctors even say, there's honest doctors out there that say that 90% of abortions are all with perfectly healthy mothers, perfectly healthy babies.
Yes. And there's adoptions available, and families that cannot have children that would love to have the child.
Yeah.
On the flip side, what I think we have to do is we have to understand that we cannot take an all or nothing approach, but that we have to, number one, if, and this is very partisan, if the Democrats hold the House and the Senate, that's going to hit the ballots of the individual. If in the next election, then we can, the Republicans can get a majority, then it won't hit.
And that's next year, right?
And that's next year.
Yeah.
And so it's very critical that next year you vote for pro-life people.
Yeah.
To keep that from becoming a thing. And the thing that's missed, because if you go back to the Harris, well, it actually was in the Trump-Biden debate. And then Harris referenced it again in the Trump-Harris debate, where he talked about, Trump made the statement about, that babies could be killed.
Yeah, all of it.
And she, quote, denied it. Well, semantics are a very wonderful thing when they favor you. But see, her running mate, Governor Walz, they passed a bill, and he signed it.
Right.
That if an abortion was attempted.
If it failed.
And the baby lived,
They were allowed to let it die.
Then that baby had no rights.
Right. Yes. It's infanticide.
Yeah. It didn't say that you could kill it.
Yeah.
It just said it had no rights.
And not only are there reported cases, Trump was right saying that not only there were the reported cases, but there also is an underwhelming reporting amount.
Oh,
of
absolutely.
These they want to report. They don't want to report failed abortions.
No, but in Minnesota with Governor Walz, he signed that bill.
Right.
And it's in there, and if it's done up through...
And this is the bill that's coming to Virginia.
The one that they will be trying to pass.
Yes.
And so there will have to be a push next year, 2025, House of Delegates, and the areas that do have senators that are running, not every area has senators running, but we will have to do everything we can to get pro-life people, especially in that House of Delegates.
Yeah. Well, that's enlightening. I mean, all of this is very enlightening to me because, I mean, this is the thick of it. And, when people say, voting for your president is picking between the lesser of two evils, well, I'm like, but it's not if you are involved locally. I mean, your politics, like you said, it should be local.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Ecclesia Principles with Ray Eppard. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook on our Ray Eppard pages. This program was brought to you by Victory Worship Center and World Outreach. Services Sunday 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, 200 Hammond Lane, Stanton, Virginia.